about mindset and how it drives behavior and a couple of the principles to get us into a growth mindset. So all of us throughout the day, the thoughts, the experiences, the situations that we come across, we tend to look at them one way or another. That drives all of our behaviors. So let's look at a couple of the different sides on how this works. So on the growth mindset, failure is an opportunity to grow. You know, throughout the day, everybody falls down and you keep going, and they look at it as a growing opportunity. They also look and say, hey, I can learn anything that I want to learn. The challenges in my life help me grow. They don't hold me back. My effort and attitude determine my abilities. Feedback is constructive. And I like to try new things. And it's constantly about going forward and moving. On the fixed mindset, though, it's a completely different outlook and attitude on life. So your fixed mindset is the failure is my limit of my abilities. So I'm stuck at this. I can't go any further. There's no other way for me to be able to do this. I don't like to be challenged. They say I can't. I've already tried that. It didn't work. They see the problems instead of the solutions, and they stick with what they know. So anything outside their comfort zone is limiting, and then the mindset is limiting, so it causes the behaviors to change. Let's talk about the two different aspects of abundance versus scarcity. The growth side and the growth mentality will focus on abundance, and the other side will focus on scarcity. So a scarcity-based mindset is fear-based, it's rigid, it doesn't like to make any changes. Then it's focused on the problems, the lack, lower vibration, it kills abundance. It's just a whole negative side. It's one of those things when you walk into a room and you'll see somebody and you'll go, is everything okay? What's wrong? Because just their whole aura about them changes. On the abundant mindset, they are open-minded. They're possibility focused. They're focused on the solution, not on the problem. And it attracts more abundance in their life. Two books I recommend is one called Mindset by Carol Dweck, and the other one is Steve Siebold, The 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class. And both of these have a lot of similarities, but perspective on helping us identify. We don't make changes because everything we do, we believe is the right way to do it. We rarely will want to drift, and whatever we do, we're comfortable with, and we believe that it's the right way to do things. Let's break down a few different areas of specifics on identifying what it is. Once we identify, then we know how we can solve and fix the problem. So here is the rigid, or what we call a fixed mindset. The first one is that you'll hear them make comments like, he made me feel, or she made me feel, or the way they do this to me, or talk to me, or this is what happened to me. And everything is about giving power to somebody else. They made me feel this way. And that's wrong. And so what they do is they see it as they're either smart or they're stupid. So if something they don't feel comfortable, they say, oh, this makes me feel smart or stupid. They either know it or I'm dumb and I'm not. They either know it or I'm dumb. The other one is I'm either good or I'm bad. And criticism confirms that they're bad. They hear the word constructive criticism, and there's nothing constructive about it. Criticism means I'm bad at it. They avoid challenges and risk. They don't want to have to struggle. Their energy is spent on the problems. You know, they say that somebody in this mindset, for every solution, they'll tell you what the problem is. And a lot of times they're focusing on the problems and the issues. They'll find ways that it won't work. If you say, hey, let's try this, they'll tell you immediately why it won't work. And then the last one is just a scarcity. And what they believe, like this picture here, is it's stunted growth. It's like, this is the most that I'm ever going to grow. This is the most that I'm ever going to develop. And they're stuck. So now let's finish up with the growth mindset and the way that we really develop. And the sapling is probably the best example. You know, in California, you've got the Sequoia National Park. And you've got these little teeny seeds that grow into these monster trees. And really, it's about growth. And growth is about self-awareness. It's about how we individually process, how we individually think of things, and how we view ourselves and our ability to grow. The way they look at it is they say, hey, if I don't know something, then I'm learning something. It's not that I'm smart or I'm stupid. It's that if I don't know it, I'm learning. The second one is that even if I'm not great at it, at least I'm getting better. If somebody has a fixed mindset, you'll hear them say things like, I'm no good at this. Oh, I just can't do that.
And what we really want is to view it as getting better and everything is improving. Criticism is coaching so that I can improve. It's not criticism to cut me down and identify my weaknesses. It's really criticism allows me to get individual coaching on things that I can improve on to get better. If somebody didn't care about me, maybe they wouldn't even point it out to me. And growth mindset views it that way. Mistake and a setback are indications that they're moving forward. A lot of times people end up with setbacks in their life and it causes them to completely stall out. They don't want to have any movement forward. It literally is like quicksand. It paralyzes their movement forward. These people want to move forward. And so energy is towards solutions. It's constantly about what can I do next, moving forward. They find ways to make it happen, and everything is about abundance.
Although this is a good physical representation, this is literally how people run their lives. You will find people that are either closed up, they're shrunk, they're wanting to hide behind things. It's a little bit of nervousness and scarcity. Or you're going to find people that are open. They're open to receiving. They're more abundant. I mean, these two representations of a closed fist, I don't want to lose what I've got. Don't make me feel uncomfortable. I'm going to be tense. I'm going to be rigid. Or I'm going to be open to everything that somebody has to tell me. I'm going to be open to the solutions. I'm looking forward to the next phase, the next chapter in my life. In a perfect world, if you're going to identify quadrant to be in, you'd want to be in the top right quadrant. And the left side of this quadrant, of this chart, is a fixed mindset. The right side is a growth mindset. The top is higher energy, and the bottom is lower energy. It's important that we know where we spend most of our days. When we're having conversations with somebody, whether they're a little bit confrontational or that they're instructive or whatever the conversation is, do I know where I am in the quadrant when I'm having the conversations? Am I able to manage my abilities to make sure I want to be where I really get maximum fulfillment and benefit from? The bottom left is one of the worst areas. It's the lowest energy, which you'll hear people, it causes sadness, humiliation, shame, where they're just in a very low funk. It's very hard for people to move out of that. The top right is they're a little more anxious. It's higher energy, but you'll see them be very reactive. They get angry about stuff. It's kind of like the ongoing road rage side of the business. And then on the right-hand side is where we really want to spend. One is on gratitude and being content and very mellow and very calm. And then on the top is the action or the elation or the excitement. And you'll see a lot of times people operate in this energy. Obviously, if we're going from top right to bottom left, that causes us problems as well when it's like the roller coaster ride. What we want to do is just identify when we have a growth mindset, we're open to opportunities, we're not taking things too personally, we don't feel bad for what we don't know, it's all a growth phase. Then we're able to keep ourselves on the right-hand side of this quadrant of being able to say, hey, I'm either going to be calm and content with where I am, or I'm going to be elated, I'm going to be excited, I'm going to be going after things and making adjustments. If I ever slip over here to feeling sorry or to not be thinking about abundant and how can I grow and move forward, then I got to as quick as I can, make that jump and get back over there. So this is a visual representation of what we need to do or how we look at things and assess how we live our lives. There are so many conversations I have with people, and during the day they say they feel trapped. And this is great. It's a one bar that the guy's holding on to that wants to feel trapped. And there's so much opportunity to get around problems, to sidestep problems, to do what other people are doing through the day is just going about their day. The second we start putting barriers in front of our growth, in front of our steps, it causes us now to shift into a scarcity and a blame mentality where we focus on what we're not good at, what we don't know, instead of an abundance mentality. So the closing question of this quick little mindset, growth versus fixed mindset, abundance versus scarcity, is recognizing that all of our experiences that we have through the day, all the conversations, all of our relationships, all of our experiences cause us to have a certain mindset. That mindset drives all of our behaviors. And so what is it really that we want to identify? The mindset that I have has got me to where I am. But where I want to go is going to require me to really understand how is it that I view situations and circumstances to be able to get new results.